Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Hey everybody, it's great to be back with you for another episode of Save As Ability. We're reacting to our audience here who wants to hear about Social Security disability. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I've experienced with this myself. You know, there's been portions in my life where I've had to rely on the public benefits. And, you know, there's a whole social dynamic to taking benefits as well. And, you know, some people are like, well, are you ashamed of that? Or you're proud of that? Or what do you feel? So here's how I like to describe it, is that the programs are there. One of the great things about America is we take care of our people, right? And so between the different benefit programs, whether it's for housing and, you know, Section 8 vouchers, or whether it's for health care, or whether it's for these cash payment systems and health care with Social Security, you know, we provide for our people. So that's a good thing. Now, I think what's happened, though, unfortunately, is when these programs were put in place years ago, decades ago, right? What's happened is our society is modernized and the programs really have not kept up and modernized. And as a result now, unfortunately, what you get is you get people stuck in this cycle of dependence upon these programs. We don't want that, right? So what we want to do is we want to be able to support our people and let them know, look, we've got coverage for you. We're going to support you so you can have your, you know, your food, your clothing, your shelter. This is America. We're going to take care of you. I think everybody agrees with that. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, doesn't matter, right? But I think where we start getting into the challenges is, well, at what point and what limits, and at what point is it a disincentive or a perverse incentive? And, you know, when you get into this system of benefits, you can get stuck in there because you become reliant upon these benefits. And we don't want that. We want people to be upwardly mobile. We want people aspiring for the American dream. That's access to opportunity. That's independence and self-determination that we want, right? So unfortunately, sometimes these programs have evolved to where they really get you caught in it. So like, let's give an example. I printed out some information here, or I copied it on my screen. The maximum monthly SSI payment for 2024 is $943, okay, for a single individual. And for a couple, it's $1,415. All right. Now, that amount could vary based upon your income, family members' income, your living situation, some other factors, some other benefit programs you might be involved with. But I think everybody would agree at this day and age, that's really not enough to be, you know, fully free, fully independent. And yeah, it can be a part of the puzzle to what you're trying to do, particularly if you're trying to get full-time employment or you're trying to open up your own business. So generally, I just want to be clear on this. Generally, you will be better off financially if you get some of these public benefits, at least to start, until you get to a point where you've built up a work history and you're competitive and you're able to then get off of the public benefits. That's the goal, though. The goal shouldn't be. Now, for some people, actually, I shouldn't say that. For some people, maybe it is appropriate that they have the benefits throughout their lifetime. It might be appropriate for some. But for a large amount, we want them to be able to work, not only for themselves so that they can make good on their own ability and talents and skills, but for our society to be able to benefit from those talents and skills and our economy and everything else. So, you know, you qualify for these programs through like the Social Security Administration. It is a big, long process to do. So once you've taken all that time, I mean, it can take months to be able to set it up, sometimes even longer. So once you do that, it's like, well, now I don't want to jeopardize that. And that's kind of the disincentive that keeps people like from going back into the workforce, because there's so many rules, there's so many limits. All right, so that's Social Security. Now there's also SSDI. That's Social Security Disability Insurance. Now, the primary difference between the two programs is that SSDI is a paid-in system. So if you have a work history that you've been paying into the system, now you're able to access that insurance benefit coming out because you've kind of quote unquote paid into the system. All right. So you must have worked jobs that have paid into Social Security. You must have that medical condition and meet all the criteria. All right. Now, again, generally going back to our previous topics that we've talked about before, this is why the definition of disability matters. The ADA definition is in place to protect people against discrimination. These definitions, though, we're talking about for Social Security are much more specific. These are the benefit level definitions of disability, where it's leads you through a whole thing, and then there's a third party validating it, the Social Security Administration, asking you, and you have to oftentimes prove your medical conditions and things like that. So, the monthly benefits that get paid here, again, through SSDI, generally are going to be able to help you, particularly if you have a work history, and they have, trial work period. Used to be 18 months. Now it's 9 months, and they extended it to 36-month look back or whatever. Again, what happens is you get in all these rules, and you got to know that. And that's really, I hate to say it, it's government at its worst. So what we want to do is we want to simplify this process. We want to make it easier for Americans to be productive, to bring out their talents and abilities for themselves so that they can be independent and self-determined, and for our society, so society can get that next great invention that's within that person, or, the next great something that is within each individual here in America. So again, it's a real decision to be made here about, do I take the benefits? Do I not take the benefits? And the way the programs are set up, yeah, you can do both, but it becomes cumbersome and problematic. And so, you always, to me, want to have that mindset of being focused on independence and self-determination. And if you're reliant on these government programs and you get stuck in this benefit system, the longer you go in that benefit system, the less likely you are. And don't just believe me. There's volumes of data and reports on this that indicates, that's why one of the reasons when we look at our data, that point that we always go back to, 2/3 of all working age people with disabilities are not in the labor force. This is a significant and contributing factor. So you know what I want to do? Yeah, provide people with the benefits and then phase them out over time, right? That's the way to do it. That's the way to get people into the workforce, building an employment history, showing them the incentive, because these benefits are really a paltry amount compared to what you can make in the private sector long term. Okay. But the thing that gets you stuck is you're like, well, wait a minute, I can make more money here than I can at an entry-level minimum wage job. And that's probably true. But that short-term thinking is going to really hold. It holds our society back. It holds our people with disabilities back long-term, generally on a large scale of how we're looking at this data. So again, you can, just to dispel some myths, you can work while you're receiving these benefits. You've got this trial work period of 9 months, and then you get 3 works. What do they call it? Actually, it's called extended period of eligibility, EPE. But again, you got to now get into all of these rules, and you got to keep going back and forth. The better way to do it is to be focused on securing competitive employment in America. So that's really, I hope this is helpful to you. If you want more detail on this, or you want us to talk more about these benefit programs and the specifics, please let us know. Put a comment in. Help us grow our channel. Subscribe, like, share. I'm fired up as usual. It's David Darkangelo, another episode of Save Eligibility. I hope you have a great day. For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save Eligibility podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David Darkangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.